How do retirees spend all that time on their hands? How do they spend it? What do they do? What do they do? I've got 10 ways, and I got this from US News Online. Number one, retirees spend about 30 minutes a day thinking/relaxing. Now, I do more than that. Am I a slug? Yeah, I'm a slug. Okay, I admit it, I'm a slug. But there is something recently, with all this time I've had on my hands that I've spent thinking about, and it'll probably come out in part 2 to this, although it's kind of controversial. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it out yet, but it was definitely on my mind a couple nights ago. Woo! Anyway, retirees, lots of time to relax, to think. US News said they spend about 30 minutes a day. Okay, great. Got a lot of time. Do whatever you want. I spend more than that, to be honest with you. Number 2, sleep. Retirees average about 10 hours of sleep a day. The only other age group that comes close to that, well, actually the same amount, is under 25 years old. Now, that could be, dispersed through naps through the day and stuff like that. I take a nap every day, or at least I try to. I know a woman in retirement who takes 2 naps a day. Now, that seems a little extreme to me, but hey, do what you want, man. It's your retirement. You can do whatever you want. What am I doing with my hands? I don't know. Where do I put them? I'll put them behind my back. How's that? Number 3. Watching TV. According to this survey, retirees spend 4.5 hours a day watching TV. Guys, if you want the quickest way for your mind to just rot, for those wheels to slip a cog, watch TV, that amount per day. I watch TV almost every day, maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half. That's about it. If you're just sitting there and your brain is just stewing in its own juice, doing nothing, it's going to rot. Don't spend that much time watching TV, guys. Go out, do stuff, do some creative things, That's an awful lot of time to spend watching TV. Number 4, retirees spend 2.5 hours per day on home maintenance. Now, that could be home repair, that could be washing, that could be drying clothes, that could be cleaning. Recently, I've had an infestation of moths, big old suckers, moths, into my house. I finally discovered it was coming through a weep hole in the bottom of the window. What's a weep hole? I don't know. You tell me. Mr. Angry Rabbit up there, you tell me. What's a weep hole? I didn't know, so I closed those off with steel wool. I'm good. Now I've got a cricket infestation, so yeah, I'm spending 2.5 hours per day trying to figure this thing out. I've already put in new door sweeps. Hopefully that'll help. Was that a chirp? I don't think so. Number 5, meals. Now, I noticed this about 20 years ago or so with my dad. He spends a lot of time eating, not eating, but eating each meal. He'll spend a lot of time doing that. Retirees take longer over meals. Think about it. When you're working, you rush. You might have a half hour for lunch. You might have an hour if you're lucky, but you might have to do some errands. So, retirees have all the time in the world. They can spend time to enjoy their food. That's what they do. They spend longer eating. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but my wind chimes are going crazy outside because it's a very windy day in the high desert. That's why I'm inside. I like to film outside, but I'm inside because it's windy. That's why. Number 6, shopping. The survey said that retirees spend either in-person or online shopping 45 minutes a day. That makes sense, right? A lot of time in your hands. Or if not, you might not always buy something, but you could be window shopping on the internet, right? I do it. Actually, that seems kind of low. I would have thought more. But 45 minutes a day, still a lot when you think about it. Number 7, reading. 40 minutes per day. To me, that's really low. I spend 2 or 3 hours a day. Guys, if there's any one thing that is shown to keep your cognitive abilities functioning, it's reading. Think about it. What do you do when you read? The author will hint towards certain scenes and stuff, but you make those scenes up in your mind. You make up what the characters look like. I'm an author. I try and do that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it works, awesome. That's what I'm here for. But read. It keeps those juices flowing. Hopefully not through your underarms though, then, it gets kind of messy. Number 8, exercising. Wait. Oh, I couldn't even read my own writing. I thought it said 1.7 minutes per day. It's 17 minutes per day. That actually sounds pretty good. I mean, they say you should get 30, 45 minutes of exercise in per day. Now, I live on a big, my property is pretty big, over an acre. So just the fact of me walking from my house to the very front of my driveway, which I usually do a couple times a day, that's like about a city block, just that one little walk. So I get in a little exercise. Could I be doing more? Yes, of course. I have a little bit of muscle, but I could have more, couldn't I? I have a little bit of aerobic, but I could have more. Spend as much time as you can. Also, when you're talking about cognitive abilities, increased exercise keeps that stuff fresh up there. Those juices flowing. Number 9, volunteering. Retirees spend 30 minutes a day volunteering, doing this and that. Now, obviously, when they're giving you these figures, it's average. You could spend 5 hours one day and then not do anything for the next week. Averages out to about 30 minutes a day, whatever. Volunteering, it's great. If you're going through a bad time in your life, anything like that, if you've got your mind too much on you, volunteer. You can't help but take your mind off your own problems if you're volunteering, helping others, right? Do it. 30 minutes a day. Is that what these retirees do? Pretty good. For those of you who have seen me for the first time, this is a channel on moderate income and how to retire on it. If you're interested in that, think about subscribing. If you like the video, please like it. And if you really like it, down on the link, you can buy me a coffee. Ooh, speaking of coffee, for my dry throat, constant in my videos because I'm in the high desert, a dry throat. Number 10, socializing. Retirees on average spend 30 minutes a day socializing to their neighbors, to their friends, whatever. That's great. That's another thing. Gets your mind off yourself, your problems. Keeps those juices flowing so you're not sitting there and watching the 4.5 hours per day of TV that these retirees average. Get out there, guys. Socialize. Do whatever you can to keep those things fresh. Keep your mind moving, okay? And as always, hey, just remember all these things. Keep them in a positive mind. And along with that, if you've got a plan for your retirement and your finances, just remember, we got this.